Welcome to Classified Captures.
Steve here, and today we've got a wild lineup of clips ranging from strange conspiracies to clips of cryptids we never even thought could exist. Ready to have your mind blown? Well, let's dive right in. Right off the bat, we start with something very controversial, even by our standards. Take a good look at the clip. Does anything seem out of place to you? No? Well, take a second look. If you haven't noticed it already, there's something almost invisible moving in the middle of the frame. It appears to be cloaked, and it startled the individual who originally recorded this. According to her, she was moving through the woods when she felt something was moving, but as usual, it was not something she could readily see, until she noticed there was something almost transparent in the woods out there with her. She started recording so people could at least see and know what happened, should she not make it out. Fortunately, she did make it out, but one thing she couldn't make out was what the thing really was. A number of individuals who saw it started thinking that it was a cloaked Bigfoot. Some also stated that it looked like a scene from the first Predator movie. Looking at the clip, I can understand where they're coming from, but a sect of the paranormal community believes this is nothing but a bad hoax. They state that this has got to be CGI and a poor one at that. You've seen the clip. Which of these groups do you side with, or do you have a theory of your own? Let us hear you in the comments section. Speaking of potential Bigfoot sightings, this intriguing footage was captured in the Appalachian Mountains by an individual walking home. The scene was blanketed in thick snow, likely the aftermath of a recent snowstorm, creating an eerie, quiet atmosphere. As the person filmed that journey, something extraordinary caught their attention. Up ahead, a massive bipedal creature was crossing the road, or at least that's what it looked like. The massive being, covered in dense dark fur from head to toe, moved with an almost deliberate grace. It didn't appear to notice the observer, but the moment the person realized what they were witnessing, fear took over. They immediately turned and fled, leaving behind a shaky but compelling video of the encounter. Now let's examine the figure more closely. Its imposing stature could be between 7 to 9 feet tall, and its entirely fur-covered body makes it a near textbook depiction of the Sasquatch. While skeptics might argue it could be someone in a costume, the remote, snow-covered location of the Appalachians makes that explanation seem far-fetched. It's highly unlikely that someone would be wandering around in a Bigfoot costume in such a remote, snow-covered area, unless, of course, the video was staged. That said, there's an important factor to consider. The Appalachian Mountains are notorious for cryptid activity, particularly Bigfoot sightings. The sheer volume of consistent eyewitness accounts adds weight to the possibility that this footage could be genuine evidence of the elusive Sasquatch. So, could this be the breakthrough moment cryptid enthusiasts have been waiting for? Or is there still a more mundane explanation waiting to be uncovered? Let's hear your thoughts. Still on clips from the woods, we got this one that came from a man who was only trying to have a good time in the woods. His walk through the woods only led him to something rather strange. It was a tiny hand reaching out from a large crack in the trunk of a tree. The hand remained there for a while, almost as if it was feeling around, and then it slowly withdrew back inside. Intrigued, the man decided to circle around the tree to get a better look at whatever was inside. That's when he saw it. A pair of glowing eyes staring back at him from the darkness of the hollowed-out trunk. The creature inside was so dark that it blended almost completely into the shadows, despite the fact that it was broad daylight outside. This eerie encounter has led to widespread speculation. Some believe that this could have been a skinwalker or some supernatural entity in the tree. However, skeptics argue that the tiny hand looked more like that of a raccoon, suggesting this might have just been a perfectly natural but unsettling encounter. What do you think?
This is the exact spot. It's a freaking memorial?
It's a grave.
No, it's not a grave.
I mean, a memorial.
Have you ever heard of the Randonautica app? Well, a girl used the app and it led her to this memorial for another girl who had passed away. She had no connection to this person at all and had never even heard of her before. Randonautica has been at the center of many eerie experiences. The app is designed to generate random coordinates for users to explore, but people have reported that it often leads them to disturbing or even haunting locations. Some users have found themselves in the middle of nowhere, others have been directed to graveyards, and some have even stumbled upon possible crime scenes. The eerie thing is that most of these people ended up in places that represented their darkest fears. Others ended up in places where they'd heard things or people or spirits whisper their names. And no, we're not even kidding about this. There are many more unsettling stories linked to this app, which raises the question, is it all just a coincidence or is there something more to it?
This is the exact spot. It's a freaking memorial?
It's a grave.
No, it's not a grave.
I mean, a memorial.
The restaurant right now that's connected to our hotel, the door's been wide open, and they said they've seen lights going on and off in here.
A man had gone into the attic of his workplace after multiple workers complained about strange occurrences. Some employees were so disturbed that they even refused to return to work, all because of the attic. So he decided to investigate it for himself. He was specifically told that the lights in the attic kept flickering, so he climbed to check it out. As he panned his camera around, everything seemed normal at first. There was nothing unusual, no strange figures in sight. But then something terrifying happened.
Hello? Oh my God.
A chilling, eerie voice suddenly whispered, "Get out," sending a wave of fear through him. Though he saw nothing, the sheer presence of that voice was enough to make him freak out and leave immediately. The workplace itself is a hotel with an attached restaurant, but no one knows what kind of entity might be haunting the attic, and judging by the tone of his voice, whatever is up there doesn't seem friendly at all. Honestly, with the way things are in the world right now, it looks like even ghosts are living rent-free in this economy. I mean, well, how else would they survive the inflation?
Hello? Oh my God.
Oh, I'm freaking out. Guys,
A couple had gone exploring an abandoned property, but as they neared the place, they felt an eerie sense of fear and unease, almost like something or someone was there with them. The man walked ahead while the woman filmed their surroundings. At one point, as she stood across the room panning the camera, she captured something chilling. This shadowy figure darted past in the distance. She was so spooked because they were the only ones there, and judging by the distance, there was no way it could have been her own shadow. There are a lot of cases of lingering entities taking refuge in the abandoned buildings after years of being left undisturbed. Or perhaps the spirit of someone who died there or owned the place. What could be the case for this building?
oh, I'm freaking out. Guys,
A curious believer was scouting through Google Maps when he stumbled upon something strange in New Mexico. It was this shiny metallic object partially buried in the ground. At first, it looked eerily similar to a UFO. This immediately sparked speculation, especially considering New Mexico's history with the infamous Roswell UFO crash that sent shockwaves around the world. Many believe this is the real deal, while others think it's a hoax. If it's the real deal, could this be a newly crashed craft, or is it a relic from years ago? Well, it's hard to say, but if this is real, it could confirm everything we've always suspected. Imagine driving down the street to this scene. I mean, it's not every day you see a woman on her bike suddenly lift off into the sky and drop somewhere else. Unless there was a strong wind or hurricane or something similar in strength, there's no logical explanation for this. Do we see any of that in the clip, though? No, so our only explanation becomes that there's some sort of higher power messing with the lady. Either that or it's a glitch. Many in the paranormal community are thinking along the lines of telekinesis or even ET. I don't blame them for doing so, but having more opinions on this wouldn't hurt, would it? So what do you think is going on here?
El día de hoy estamos transmitiendo un video y vamos a demostrarle cuál es uno de los trabajos.
This footage comes from a live stream inside a morgue. The man behind the camera was asking the embalmers questions while broadcasting the session to his audience. At first, everything seemed normal. However, things took a creepy turn when people in the comments section started asking about something unusual. They all claimed to hear the faint sound of children wailing in the background. Strangely, neither the embalmers nor the cameraman could hear anything in real time. Only the viewers on the live stream seemed to pick it up. This shocked the man filming, but at the same time, well, it's not the first time strange things have been reported around the dead. There have been countless paranormal stories, from people hearing knocks on the walls and doors to objects falling on their own. Paranormal activity in places like a morgue isn't unheard of. But why could only the people watching the live stream hear the eerie sounds while those inside the morgue heard nothing? Is it because the staff is so used to it that they've subconsciously tuned it out? Or is there something else going on? How do you feel about mermaids? Real, hoax, or misunderstood creatures? Well, irrespective of how you feel, the man behind this camera claims he captured a couple of them while out at the beach. If you pay attention to the waves, you'll see a creature swimming against them. It appears to have a human torso and a fishtail. The only creatures that fit this description are mermaids. Many in the community embrace this as authentic, but a sect remains skeptical, mostly because of the poor quality of the clip. Well, you've seen the clip yourself, so what do you think of the whole thing? Someone was driving by this odd-looking house, which is said to have been owned by a guy who built the place and filled it with rather questionable items. Just from the exterior, you can see a large statue of Satan with horns, surrounded by other figures, angels, the Grim Reaper, crosses, and all sorts of strange underworld symbols. The place looks downright satanic. But no one lives there anymore. For some reason, the house is now abandoned and the building still stands. Just looking at it gives off a cold, eerie feeling. No one knows why the place was abandoned or what happened to the house, which has fueled many conspiracy theories. One being, he met the devil and didn't like what he saw. I'm not one to judge people's beliefs, but come on. Why would anyone think it's a good idea to... maybe I shouldn't say more than this. Let's move on to the next clip. And no, I'm not scared, just sharing my thoughts responsibly, I think.
And no, I'm not scared, okay? I'm just sharing my thoughts responsibly, I think.
Now let's take a break from all the paranormal stuff and dive into something really interesting. Pineapples. Watch this experiment. A blazing hot iron ball heated to about 1000 degrees Celsius is placed directly onto the peel of a pineapple. You'd expect it to burn through instantly, right? But instead, as the ball cools down, all that remains is a black mark on the surface. The pineapple itself is completely unharmed. Even flipping it over reveals no damage to the inside. So what's going on here? Well, pineapples contain a heat-resistant enzyme known as peroxidase isozyme, which helps them withstand extreme heat. This enzyme isn't just found in pineapples, but exists in other fruits as well. But here's the real question. Why does the pineapple have this ability? Could there be something unique about this fruit that we haven't fully understood yet? I'll be back with an answer when Julius writes his first thesis on the fruit. This footage was retrieved from an office after one of the workers reported a very strange encounter. They reviewed the security tapes and what they saw left them shocked. Take a look at what happened. One night, a man had stayed late to finish some work. While working, he noticed one of the lights in a room flickering. So he got up and walked over to turn it off. He turned around to leave, but that's when things took a terrifying turn. With his back turned, just as he was about to walk away, the door suddenly slammed shut behind him. Then, out of nowhere, a chair slid violently across the floor right beside him. Out of panic, the man bolted out of the office, but the horror didn't stop there. As he ran, the door opened again and the lights flickered back on. And if that wasn't chilling enough, when they zoomed in on the glass door, they saw this dark reflection of a shadowy figure standing inside the room. This was not a person. This was something else. The office workers were so disturbed that from that night forward, no one ever stayed late at the office again. What do you think it was? A spirit? A residual haunting? Or something even more sinister? While you think about that, let's discuss another scary thing: cancer. Some scientists and doctors have long suspected that parasites may be the root cause of cancer. Sounds far-fetched, but this theory was put forth by some German doctors as far back as the 1970s. Dr. Euben Schiatz and Dr. Winter started studying blood after they thinned it out and discovered strange objects in the bloodstreams of some individuals. These objects were called copioscills, and they were linked. They concluded that they were parasitic cells. Another doctor known as Dr. Weber conducted similar experiments and discovered that these copioscills were the cause of the blood infection. Individuals who had this usually had some form of cancer, including leukemia, breast cancer, and what have you. While not all individuals had these cells, all cancer victims did. This made them conclude that the cause of cancer may be parasitic in nature. And if this is true, well, why isn't it mainstream? Well, conspiracy theorists believe Big Pharma is behind the big hush, and that wouldn't surprise me. The big question is, however, can this information be trusted? We We always hear about free speech in America, but are we really allowed to speak our minds even when the media we consume seems heavily scripted? Take a look at this compilation of journalists from various media outlets. It's eerie. They're all saying the exact same thing, reading from the same script as if they were programmed to deliver a coordinated message.
Hi, I'm Fox San Antonio's Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our
Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities,
Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But we are concerned about the trouble and trying to irresponsible, one-sided news stories
plaguing our country.
Watching this feels unsettling, almost like a form of mass hypnosis, conditioning us to believe whatever narrative is being pushed. When you see it all laid out like this, it makes you wonder how much of what we hear is truly independent journalism and how much is carefully controlled messaging.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
the sharing of biased and false news
has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
A woman had gone to Walmart in Detroit to buy some groceries when she came face to face with something deeply unsettling. Right there in front of the freezer section, a woman was crouched on the ground, chewing on what looked like raw meat. Yeah, right there on the floor, tearing into it like an animal. The sight was so disturbing that the woman who spotted her immediately turned away in fear, not wanting to get too close. Now, some people do prefer to eat their meat raw, but this was something else entirely. Was she just too hungry to wait, or is there something much stranger going on here? Even more unsettling, no one else seemed willing to approach her. Is she okay?
Guys, I just got home and I see this hole in my wall, and next door I have a really creepy neighbor. Let's take a look. What the? Oh my god, oh my.
A woman had just gotten home when she noticed a hole in her wall, very low to the ground. This hole wasn't supposed to be there. She'd never seen it before, but as soon as she walked in, it caught her attention. Curious and uneasy, she took out a camera and peered through the hole, and that's when she saw it, an eye staring right back at her. According to her, the next-door neighbor had always given her the creeps. He made her feel uneasy, and the location of the hole lined up exactly with where his room was. Could he have made this hole while she was away? There have been many cases of stalkers, voyeurs, and even kidnappers who go to disturbing lengths to watch their victims, waiting for the right moment to strike. It's unclear what she did next, but hopefully she alerted the landlord and, more importantly, called the police.
Guys, I just got home and I see this hole in my wall, and next door I have a really creepy neighbor. Let's take a look. What the? Oh my god, oh my.
A man had parked his car in front of a building to grab a few things from the store, but when he came back and was about to get into his car, he noticed something strange. On the side of the building, there was a small gap, and standing there on the ground was this tiny figure. It was a small, two-legged creature staring back up at him. Its size and stance almost resembled that of an elf or a duende. The footage is a little shaky, making it difficult to make out the creature's features clearly. Some believe this is just a hoax, arguing that the shaky camera work was intentional to obscure details, but others are convinced that this could be real footage of an unknown entity. What do you think? Hoax or real? Take a look at this scary elevator footage. Two men were inside an elevator, casually chatting and laughing while someone filmed them. Everything seemed normal until the camera captured something chilling. Look closely behind them through the glass window. You'll notice that as the elevator moves upward, the floors outside are shifting downward. But then, something unexpected appears. A girl in a white dress suddenly comes into view, standing by a window and staring straight at them. Her presence is unsettling and she doesn't move as the elevator continues past. The man did not notice her until later. She didn't look like a regular person. Her eerie stillness and ghostly presence made many viewers believe she was a spirit, not a living person. Some even claimed that seeing a ghostly figure like this is a bad omen. What do you think? Ghost or eerie coincidence? A young woman was sitting in her room when she noticed this partially deflated balloon moving on its own. At first, she thought it was just the air in the room, but then she realized it wasn't just drifting randomly. It seemed to be floating with purpose. What made this even more emotional for her was that she had recently lost a grandmother and believes it could be a sign. So she asked her grandmother to move the balloon toward her as if it was her. And then it happened. Right before her eyes, the balloon slowly floated toward her. Overwhelmed with emotion, the young woman began to cry, her voice shaking as she recorded the moment. What do you think? Was this really her grandmother's spirit reaching out, or was it just a coincidence?
If that's you, Nan, bring that balloon over to me. Come over to me. I'm right here. Come on. You're f***ing joking me. You are f***ing joking me. Oh. Oh, Nan, it's you, innit?
A grandmother floating a red balloon. What is this, Pennywise or Grannywise?
This man decided to camp out in the woods for the night. As he hiked to his campsite filming his journey, he suddenly heard a chilling sound echoing through the trees. It sounded like a child shrieking, almost like a tantrum, but with an eerie animalistic growl mixed in.
Pai está fazendo uma trilha às 3 da manhã, subindo a montanha.
Many viewers were convinced that this was a skinwalker since they believed to mimic human voices to lure people in. But one commenter suggested it's just a bobcat. So I listened to recordings of bobcat sounds. While they didn't match exactly, they did sound similar. So was this just a bobcat or something far more sinister?
Às 3 da manhã, subindo a montanha.
A woman walked into her bathroom late at night when she noticed something terrifying. One of the drawers opened on its own. Shocked by what she saw, she managed to capture it all on camera. For weeks, she had been hearing strange noises coming from the bathroom, but until now, she had never actually seen what is causing them. So for proof, she left a camera recording in the bathroom overnight, and this is what she captured. The drawers would open and close by themselves, even though no one was there. Out of fear, she stopped using the bathroom entirely, staying at a friend's house instead. But for how long can she keep avoiding it? She says she's never experienced anything paranormal before moving into this house, leading some to believe that she may have brought a curse into the home or accidentally invited an entity in. Skeptics, on the other hand, believe this could just be a hoax, possibly using a fishing line to pull the drawer open. What are your thoughts?
Okay, so here's scene 7.
Okay.
It looks okay, but I am thinking we're gonna have to redo scene 7. It might be okay.
Yeah, I think
I don't think we planned on redoing scene 7, did we?
No, I think it's fine. I think it's that was the last one, right?
Yeah, it's getting a little cold. We should.
Okay, let's back up.
A couple visited the Appalachian Mountains to film for a project. As they worked, they suddenly heard a whistle echoing through the forest. The sound repeated itself every few seconds. The moment they heard it, they got scared, but instead of panicking, they calmly packed up their gear, got in their car, and left as quickly as they arrived. In Appalachian and many other traditions, whistling, especially in the evening, is strictly forbidden. It's believed to attract spirits or something far worse. According to legend, if you whistle, you might hear it echoed back to you, signaling that something, or whatever it is coming to find you. Some believe the whistle is a sign of skinwalkers, wendigos, or restless spirits. Others say even locals don't know what it truly is because those who do find out never live to tell the tale. But skeptics dismiss it as just a myth, maybe even a superstition to get people quiet at night. But is there something lurking in the Appalachian wilderness, or is it just an old local legend?
Okay, so here's scene 7.
Okay.
It looks okay, but I am thinking we're gonna have to redo scene 7.
Okay, so there's that dude. Keep an eye on that red truck. Now go with your camera.
He's really not there.
Oh my god, it's not focusing.
There. He's walking.
There it goes.
He's literally right behind
you
us
guys.
now. He's right by that mailbox and he's not there.
He's not there and the truck is not there. What the
Two friends were out using the Randonautica app, which led them to a random community. They parked on the side of the road, waiting to see why the app had brought them there, when they noticed something strange. A man was walking toward them, and behind him was a red truck parked on the side of the road. But when they looked at their camera monitor, the man wasn't there, neither was the truck. Even stranger, the place looked a little dark in person, but on the camera screen it was bright as day. Now here's where things get even weirder. When the camera turned back to look at the man a second time, a small dog suddenly appeared walking by his side. But just like the man in the truck, the dog wasn't visible in the camera view either. Completely freaked out, the friends couldn't shake the eerie feeling that the app had led them to something unusual. As we all know, Randonautica is infamous for leading people to creepy and unexplained places, but skeptics believe this could just be a camera glitch. What are your thoughts?
Okay, so there's that dude. Keep an eye on that red truck. Now go with your camera.
He's really not there.
Oh my god, it's not focusing.
There. He's walking.
There it goes.
He's literally right behind
you
us
guys.
now. He's right by that mailbox and he's not there.
He's not there and the truck is not there. What the
Do you believe in unicorns? Well, the clip on your screen is supposed to be a video of one. Personally, I suspect this is a horse. I mean, I could describe and say a lot, but I simply want your candid opinion on this one. So, unicorn or horse? A group of young actors had gone to a historic site to film a project. The location had a massive stone lion statue. They were deeply focused on their work, completely unaware that something strange was being recorded. Later, when they reviewed the footage, they noticed this. At the top of the lion structure, a dark, shadowy figure appeared. It didn't resemble a regular shadow or a painting on the statue. Instead, it had the distinct shape of a person leaning over as if watching them. However, something was off. It didn't look human at all. The actors were so shocked. No one had noticed anything unusual during filming, and there was no logical explanation for the figure. What do you think this was? A woman came across something strange on the forest floor. It was a white, round object, and it was glowing. At first, she thought it might be an egg, so she bent down to pick it up. But when she touched it, she realized it wasn't an egg at all. Its surface was rough and unnatural looking. Some believe this could be a hydrangea, a type of flower, but that still doesn't explain the glow. Others speculate it could be a bioluminescent fungi which naturally emit light in dark environments. But then again, what if it's something paranormal? It could be some kind of mystical object or a sign of something supernatural. What do you think? We all know by now what P. Diddy is in jail for. Many people have come forward to accuse him of sexual assault when they were underage. Since then, a lot of footage has surfaced showing Diddy's interactions with people, and many have analyzed these clips to highlight his very odd reactions. Now here we have a video of 12-year-old Davy Chase from 2002. She'd starred in Lilo and Stitch and The Ring, so she was pretty popular back then. In the video, Diddy asks her if she's coming to his after-party following. She smiles and nods her head yes. When you look at the man standing behind him, his reaction is pretty shocked, likely because, knowing what we do now, this little girl was probably being invited to one of those infamous parties. Diddy's little victory dance after she nodded has sent everyone into a frenzy. Why would a grown man be so excited that a 12-year-old was coming to his party? However, some think this might not be the case and that it's just his playful reaction to the little girl. What do you think? Is this evidence of all the accusations, or is it just being blown out of all proportion?
Sí, se ahorcó una mujer, ahí hay una mata de flores, se lo voy a acercar, son las 1 de la mañana. Miren, no se puede ver bien, pero miren, observen, miren, ay Dios mío, estoy granosa, señor, miren la mata de flores, miren.
A woman was home alone with her 3 children when she heard strange noises outside. It was early morning, just before sunrise, a time when most people were still asleep. The sounds made her uneasy. Who could be outside at that hour? So she grabbed her phone and peeked through the window while recording, and what she saw sent chills down her spine. There in a yard stood a figure dressed in white. The person had long black hair covering their face, making it impossible to see their features. They were kneeling in front of some plants, seemingly praying or performing some sort of ritual. As she continued watching, the figure stood up and began moving strangely, pulling leaves from the plants. The woman panicked. She immediately thought this could be a witch performing a ritual outside her home. She was alone with her children and her husband was away, so she felt both terrified and protective. She began praying, hoping that whatever was happening outside wouldn't harm her family. What do you think?
Habla el paso, mis hijos, por favor, Dios mío, cuide y protege a mi esposo, Señor, por favor, vamos a cerrar la ventana, por favor, mis hijos, no hagan bulla, por favor, no hagan bulla.
A news station recently broadcasted footage of what many believe to be the Loch Ness Monster, except this time it wasn't in Scotland but in Alaska. The creature was said to be around 15 feet long, slithering through the icy waters with visible ice on its back. For decades, the Loch Ness Monster has been one of the most famous and mysterious cryptids, often dismissed as a myth or misidentified animal. However, some people truly believe that it's real. But before anyone could get too excited, a commenter pointed out an interesting detail. They claimed that the footage wasn't actually from Alaska and that the creature had already been identified as a sturgeon. Sturgeons can grow to massive sizes and have a serpentine appearance. So, was this an exciting discovery or just another misidentification? If it really was a sturgeon, then it seems like this was just another false alarm and search for the legendary sea monsters. What do you think? A man came across something unusual while exploring a shallow river with this pool of tiny fish swimming in a perfect circular motion around a single stone. The fish weren't scattering or swimming randomly like you'd expect. Instead, they moved in a steady, almost ritualistic pace, as if they were following some unseen force or responding to something beyond our understanding. This kind of behavior has sparked different interpretations. Some believe it's just a natural schooling instinct, where fish move together for protection. Others see a deeper, almost mystical meaning, wondering if the fish are reacting to an unseen energy or even carrying out some kind of natural ritual. What do you think? A drone pilot sent his device flying over some remote mountains in the middle of nowhere when he stumbled upon something incredibly strange. Deep in the mountains, hidden within a cave, was this mysterious structure. A building partially embedded inside the cave's mouth. The sight was unnerving, as the building didn't seem like a natural part of the landscape. Who built it? And why? And more importantly, how was it even possible to construct something in such an isolated, hidden location? Some people believe the footage is AI-generated or manipulated, but others are convinced that it's real, which raises even more unsettling questions. Could this have been an abandoned secret facility, a forgotten underground base, or perhaps something even more mysterious? What do you think? Next, we've got these strange pixel-like patches of light in the sky that have everyone talking. It's an eerie and captivating sight, leaving us to wonder, what are we looking at? They could be an unusual atmospheric or weather phenomenon. For instance, certain cloud formations, light reflections, or interactions with atmospheric particles can create odd visual effects, especially when artificial lights from the ground interact with weather conditions in specific ways. Could it be something more extraordinary, like a display of unidentified flying objects? While UFO sightings often come with stories of mysterious lights in the sky, another intriguing possibility is that these lights are the result of a light show or laser display. Advances in technology might have it possible to create stunning visual effects in the sky using lasers and drones. Many in our paranormal community do not, however, think that's the case. What say you? How do you feel about the school system? Before you answer, take a look at this intriguing footage. There's an ant on a white sheet of paper, and a hand holding a black marker draws out barriers on the sheet. The ant always diverts its movements when the barriers are drawn. This simple experiment raises an interesting question. How does this relate to our school system? Just like the ants, students in the school system often encounter barriers that influence their paths. These barriers can take many forms: rigid curricula, standardized testing, societal expectations, or even limited resources. When these barriers are drawn, students are forced to navigate around them, sometimes diverting from their true passions and interests. The ants' behavior in this experiment can be seen as a metaphor for how individuals respond to obstacles placed in their educational journey. Instead of freely exploring and discovering their potential, they may find themselves confined within predetermined boundaries, constantly adjusting their course to fit within the lines drawn by the system. What is your take on this? homeowner was woken one night by the doorbell ringing. When they looked through the window, there was no one there. They waited until the next morning to check the security camera footage and made a chilling discovery. In the video, a thin, glowing line was floating in front of the door. The object moved in a very intentional manner, and when the bell rang, the object seemed to pulse in rhythm before floating away. At first, people suggested it was a spider web. However, upon closer inspection, it became apparent that this was no ordinary web. One commenter proposed a fascinating theory, that this was an invisible cloak that interacted with cameras. If true, it means someone could have been using advanced technology to give the homeowner a ghostly scare. But what do you think this mysterious object could be? It looks like we're getting closer to the futuristic tech we see in sci-fi movies. The latest innovation, the world's first screenless laptop, the Spacetop GI. This laptop comes with built-in augmented reality AR glasses that project a virtual screen, making it feel like you're working on a 100-inch display without the need for a physical monitor. Imagine having a massive workspace that fits in your backpack. The Spacetop GI runs on Space OS, an operating system designed just for this device, ensuring everything runs smoothly. It's powered by a Qualcomm Snapdragon QCS8550 processor, so it's got plenty of power under the hood. With its sleek and modern design, the Spacetop GI is all about boosting productivity in a visually stunning way. Picture yourself setting up a massive digital workspace wherever you go, all with a lightweight laptop and a pair of AR glasses. The Spacetop GI is set to hit the market in October with a price tag of $1,700. Would you consider getting one? Take a look at this display of nature's power and terror. Someone captured this breathtaking footage of what appears to be a funnel cloud turning into a tornado. This footage was taken in Chihuahua, Mexico. Imagine standing there, watching as the whirling funnel clouds descends from the sky, gradually touching down and transforming into a full-blown tornado. The raw power and unpredictability of nature in action are both awe-inspiring and terrifying. Tornadoes are one of the most powerful and destructive weather phenomena on Earth, capable of causing immense damage in a matter of minutes. The sight of one forming before your eyes is a stark reminder of the sheer force of nature and how small we are in comparison. Have you ever witnessed a tornado or other extreme weather events in person? Share your experience. Archaeologists have made a jaw-dropping discovery in Egypt, a pharaoh with a reptilian face. This creature, said to have a leathery texture to its skin, has led them to believe that it's not a statue but an actual being. This creature stands an astonishing 9 feet tall and has a wound under its left armpit, which archaeologists believe must have been the cause of its death. This fascinating find was uncovered in an unmarked grave in the Valley of the Kings, a place known for its rich history and royal burials. The implications of this discovery are enormous. Could this be proof of reptilian beings on Earth? For years, theories about reptilian creatures, often linked to myths and conspiracy theories, have been floating around. This find could potentially validate those stories. Either way, the discovery raises many questions. Who was this creature? How did it come to be buried in the Valley of the Kings? What was its role in ancient Egyptian society? And most intriguingly, could there have been more of these beings living among humans in the past? Do you believe we live in a matrix or some sort of parallel universe? If you didn't, this next clip might make you question our reality. A girl was taking a video walk, capturing her peaceful surroundings, when something truly bizarre happened. Out of nowhere, 2 girls emerged from behind her, but they hadn't been there from the beginning. How was this even possible? It's almost as if they teleported to their spot. What's even more perplexing is that the two girls didn't seem shocked at all. They walked nonchalantly as if this was a normal everyday occurrence. To add to the mystery, no one else around seemed to notice anything unusual either. What could be the reason for this? Is it a glitch in reality, an optical illusion, or perhaps something more profound? Share your theories and observations with us in the comments section. Also, are you a believer in the Matrix yet? Check out this new invention from Germany and let me know what you think about it. This innovative smart pen developed in Germany is quite an intriguing piece of technology. The pen connects to a mobile device and is then placed in the mouth. Using bone conduction, it transmits sound through your teeth and mouth directly to your skull, allowing you to play songs that only you can hear. It's certainly a novel piece of tech, leveraging bone conduction to create a private listening experience. However, I'm not sure I would enjoy walking around with a pen in my mouth all the time. It might be convenient in certain situations, but it seems a bit cumbersome for everyday use. What do you make of this invention? Would you get one, or do you think it's too unusual to be practical? Let us know your thoughts. This strange-looking creature was spotted at night on some muddy grass. At first glance, it resembles a very large salamander, but there are some distinct differences that make it stand out. It has a smooth, pink, hairless body with pronounced wrinkles running down its back. The head is especially unusual, with weird shapes and protrusions that don't match any known animal. It's like something straight out of a science fiction movie, but the footage seems too real to be edited. The way it moves, the light reflecting off its skin, everything about it looks authentic. So here's the big question. What is this creature? Despite searching, I couldn't find anything that matched its description. It doesn't fit into any known category of amphibians or reptiles, and its unique features make it a real mystery. If anyone has seen something like this before or has any idea what it might be, please share in the comments. Next, we've got an interesting discovery made in the middle of nowhere. The ground appears to be dried clay with a spiral drawn on it. Surrounding the spiral were mirrors with white frames except for one. In all the mirrors, you could see the reflection of the mirror opposite it, except in the black framed mirror. The only thing reflecting in that one was the clay ground. The spiral is a symbol often associated with spiritual journeys, cycles, and transformation. Its presence here suggests that whoever created this arrangement might be invoking or channeling some form of energy or intention. The mirrors, reflecting each other, create an infinite loop, a visual effect that could symbolize the endless nature of certain mystical concepts, such as time, consciousness, or the universe. The black framed mirror is particularly unsettling. Its failure to reflect anything but the ground breaks the symmetry and suggests a deeper, perhaps darker purpose. Could this be an area used for witchcraft or black magic? If you have any ideas or have encountered something similar, share your experience and thoughts with us in the comments section. We'll be reading. These days, volcanic eruptions don't make the headlines as much as other natural disasters. Sure, we hear about volcanoes being active, puffing out some smoke now and then, but it rarely seems alarming. Some people even live on or around volcanoes because they don't seem to pose an immediate threat. But let's not forget that when these giants do erupt, they can be incredibly dangerous. Take a look at this bizarre footage. This volcano is erupting with lava pouring out. Thankfully, people seem to have gotten the memo and are keeping a safe distance. Cars are parked along the road, and you can see people out of their vehicles, some watching in awe while others around are running. Just because volcanic eruptions aren't frequently reported doesn't mean they aren't real and present danger. Unlike Bigfoot, which is more myth than reality, volcanoes are genuinely natural structures that can erupt at any moment. It's a sobering reminder of the power of nature and how unpredictable it can be. Before you come after me for the Bigfoot statement, please note that it was just a comparison. Someone on my team suggested that the clip could be fake, but I'll leave that to your discretion. Back in 2022, a Chinese telescope was observing Mars when it captured something extraordinary, a disc-shaped object floating above the planet. The object resembled the typical flying saucer often depicted in UFO sightings. The big question is, what exactly is this object? Is it an alien craft, or is it just one of the drones that are being deployed on the planet for exploration purposes? With the increasing number of missions to Mars, numerous drones and rovers are constantly being sent to study the Martian surface, making it possible that this sighting could be explained by one of these human-made devices. On second thought, I doubt any craft from our planet would have such a shape, so there are two possible conclusions here. Either the clip is fake, or we've got an alien situation on our hands. While walking along a riverbank, an observer captured something truly eerie. It was a pale head with hollow eyes in the water. The entity looked ghostly, moving slowly until it vanished without disturbing the water in any way. This unsettling sight leaves us with more questions than answers. The pale head with hollow eyes suggests something otherworldly, evoking images of spirits and apparitions from folklore and ghost stories. The fact that the water remained undisturbed as the entity moved adds to the mystery and spookiness of the encounter. Could this be a ghost? In many cultures, water is believed to be a conduit for spirits, often serving as a boundary between the physical and spiritual worlds. Ghost sightings near water are not uncommon, and the stillness of the water, despite the entity's movement, could indicate a supernatural presence. Some tourists were out in Hawaii when they came across something odd in the sky. As you can see, whatever it is, it was saucer-shaped, but not flat. It was thick. The object hovered high above them, capturing everyone's attention. With so many recent reports and clips of UAPs, it's becoming harder to dismiss these sightings as mere illusions or misidentified objects. There are some who believe that these could be advanced military technologies being tested, while others are convinced that they're evidence of extraterrestrial life visiting our planet. The shape and behavior of the object, along with the witnesses' accounts, fuel the ongoing debate about what these sightings truly represent. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, such accounts always leave room for wonder and speculation. So what's your take on this? You would be amazed at the number of weird things that have been found on Google Maps. A TikTok user was snooping around the map, zooming in on some green lands, and there in the middle of the woods was this, a large, hairy creature standing there. The creature looks about 8 feet tall with an ape-like appearance. Did this person just find Bigfoot on Google Maps? The figure is visible and distinct enough to make one wonder if it's the elusive creature so many have sought for decades. The sighting has sparked a flurry of debate and speculation online, with some convinced it's genuine evidence of Bigfoot's existence and others skeptical, suggesting it could be a prank, a misidentified animal, or simply a shadow. What do you think? Next, I came across this bizarre footage that left me scratching my head. It was recorded by someone who had found a ring tangled in the roots of a tree. This has to be one of the weirdest things I have ever come across. How did the ring get there? Was it purposely placed there, or did it just fall and accidentally get stuck in the roots? Or is this some sort of spiritual or cultural practice? If there's anyone who knows anything about rings in tree roots, please share your thoughts in the comments. This mystery has got me really curious. Just look at this footage right here. The clouds in the sky appear to be in flames. How is this possible? Well, it's not as impossible as it seems. what you're witnessing is a phenomenon known as a fire rainbow or circumhorizontal arc. This happens when sunlight passes through ice crystals and cirrus clouds high in the atmosphere. The light refracts and creates a spectrum of colors, giving the appearance that the clouds are on fire. These fire rainbows are rare and require very specific conditions to form. The sun has to be high in the sky at an angle of 58 degrees or more, and the ice crystals in the clouds must be plate-shaped and aligned horizontally to refract the light just right. So while it might look like the sky itself is burning, it's actually a stunning optical illusion created by nature. Have you heard of the infamous alpine loop sighting in Utah? The Alpine Loop, a scenic byway winding through the Uinta-Wasatch National Forest, is renowned for its breathtaking views and natural beauty. But it's also known for something far more mysterious, sightings of unusual lights or objects in the sky. Drivers and hikers along the Alpine route have reported seeing bright lights, unexplained aerial movements, and other strange occurrences that defy easy explanation. In this particular footage, a hiker was exploring the Alpine Loop when he came across something truly astonishing. Moving from afar among the dried-up tall grass was a dark, massive figure towering over the nearby trees. The owner of the footage believes this is a Bigfoot sighting. Given the history of the strange occurrences and unexplained sightings in the Alpine Loop area, this footage adds another layer of intrigue. The possibility of encountering a Bigfoot, a creature that has fueled countless myths and stories, makes the sighting even more captivating. So what are your thoughts? Is this footage genuine evidence of Bigfoot lurking in the Alpine Loop, or could there be another explanation? Next, we have another chilling encounter shared by a homeowner retrieved from the home's backyard security camera. In the footage, we see a woman taking her laundry from the drying line. Suddenly, she starts to look around as if she hears something unusual. Her movements suggest that she was spooked, but we can't see or discern what it might be. As the woman hurriedly leaves the area, we make a bone-chilling discovery. Below the fence, there's a hole, and through it, a pale head is sticking out, intently watching the woman. Now we understand why the woman was acting so strangely and quickly left the scene. But what creature is this? It certainly doesn't look human. Could it be an animal, a cryptid, or something more sinister? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. I've always held the view that there should be a limit to adventures, but maybe that's just me being spineless. Take a look at this bone-chilling footage shared by an adventurer who went into the woods to explore an abandoned building. The trip was cut short when they saw something terrifying. From one of the windows, the person outside filmed a creature standing inside the house, pressing its face against the dirty glass. The creature had a thick, heavy face and pale skin. Nothing human about it as it stared menacingly at the person outside. It was like a scene from a horror movie, and the adventurer wasted no time running away. What could this creature be? Some say it could be a ghost or a paranormal entity, while others speculate it might be some unknown cryptid. Whatever it is, it's enough to make anyone think twice about exploring abandoned places alone. One of the most fascinating theories that still amazes me to this day is the flat Earth theory. If the Earth is indeed flat, then what we know about day and night would be completely different. Someone created a setup to demonstrate how day and night could work on a flat Earth. They had a candle tied on wheels and then placed a see-through glass between the wheeled cradle and a camera positioned lower on the glass. When the candle is wheeled away from the glass, it looks like the flame is going lower from the camera's point of view, and when it's wheeled toward the glass, it looks like it's moving upward. However, a commenter pointed out some critical flaws in this demonstration. I must say that the user has a point. We see the sun from different points around the world, and in real life, we don't visibly see the sun move, and the size of the sun remains the same at every point of the day. This setup mimics how the sun rises and sets according to flat Earth proponents. While the demonstration is thought-provoking, the overwhelming scientific evidence supports a spherical Earth. Even so, this demonstration tickles my curiosity. What about you? What do you make of this setup? Have you ever witnessed an abduction before? Not the humankind, I mean an alien abduction. If your answer is no, then today's your lucky day. In this short clip, we see a spacecraft appear and then quickly disappear. If you pay attention to the clip, however, you'll notice that there was a beam just before it disappeared. Many who saw this clip believe that someone was abducted by aliens. What do you think?
A homeowner shared this haunting footage of a pair of glowing eyes staring through his window one night. According to him, he had suspected that a dogman, a cryptid said to be part man, part dog, had been lurking around his property for some time. He never had the chance to capture it on film until one night when his dog stood at the window barking aggressively. Curious and alarmed, he went closer to check, and that was when he saw it. A pair of glowing eyes staring right back at him. The creature, whatever it was, didn't attempt to enter the house, it just stood there staring. The eerie glow and the intense gaze sent chills down his spine. Given the unsettling nature of the encounter, I think this man needs to move, don't you think? What would you do if you found yourself in a similar situation? There are a lot of things out there in nature that we have yet to discover, and sometimes they might seem mystical when we are uninformed. Take a look at this footage, for instance. I don't know where the footage was taken, but you can see that they are in a place with these intriguing stone structures. Now, they lodged a spoon between one of the large rocks, and something astonishing happened. The spoon began to bend upwards as if some unknown force was moving it. They repeated the experiment with another spoon, and the same thing happened. I was shocked when I first saw this. However, after checking the comments section, I came across an interesting explanation. One commenter wrote extensively, but the term that stood out was Tibetan singing bowl effect. This phenomenon occurs when vibrations cause objects to move in unexpected ways. Tibetan singing bowls, when played, create sound waves and vibrations that can cause objects to resonate and even move. It's possible that stone structures may be amplifying certain vibrations, leading to the spoon's movement. If that's the case, then this is a fascinating example of how natural forces can sometimes create seemingly mystical effects. Either that or this clip is somehow manipulated. Which do you think is most likely? Let us know in the comments section. Giants are being widely spoken of in various cultures and religions, often surrounded by myths and legends. In Turkey, scientists claim they found skeletal remains of Noah. The discovery includes a massive thigh bone near Mount Ararat, significantly larger than a normal human's. Also in Turkey, there is a jawbone in a museum that dwarfs any modern human jawbone. These findings fuel the ongoing debate about the existence of giants. The Bible talks about the Nephilim, described as giants who lived before and after the Great Flood. In Guam, legends say giants built the Latte stones, massive pillars that still stand today. Then there are the giant rocks in Lebanon, some weighing hundreds of tons, which no known human technology could have moved in ancient times. The list of such stories and artifacts goes on and on. Yet mainstream scientists often dismiss these accounts. They frequently argue that humans are evolving, getting bigger and better over time. However, a glance at biblical texts suggests that humans might have actually devolved, becoming smaller compared to those ancient giants. So who speaks the truth here? Are these stories and artifacts evidence of a forgotten age of giants, or are they simply misunderstood relics of human history? Starting today's clip, we got a rather strange one. Take a look. What do you reckon that is? A dog, wolf, pig, or fish? In fact, it looks like a combination of all these creatures, and it's got many talking. We're not told where this was recorded or what this thing is, but there are a number of individuals who think we're dealing with a science project leaked to the public. They think there's someone in a secret lab somewhere, splicing and combining DNA from various animals to create the ultimate animal. While that sounds like some fine line of reasoning, it doesn't sound realistic. If anyone was aiming at creating the ultimate animal based on what we see, I can only say that the individual succeeded in creating the ultimate abomination. I mean, just look at it. The only logical explanation for this is that it's AI generated. While it's easy to tell this one is AI, you have to wonder and ask how long AI will continue to look like this. If we have learned anything, it only takes a few months for AI to move from looking totally unrealistic to totally believable. When we get there, we will be back again to pick up this discussion. If you're a jumpy person and you're watching this alone, consider this your heads up. Take a look at this disturbing footage. A woman is sitting all alone at home in a living room. There's no one else around, and when she glances at her reflection on the TV screen, she sees something chilling. There's a person right next to her. What in the world is going on? How can the reflection show someone beside her when there's clearly no one else in the room? Is it an invisible housemate keeping her company? This woman must be incredibly brave, because if I were in her place, I would have bolted out of there the moment I saw that reflection. But the question remains, who or what could that second reflection be? Is it a lost loved one, a ghost haunting the house, or something else entirely? The possibilities are both eerie and intriguing. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. Now look at those juicy lips. This fish has more sex appeal than most of us humans. Just look at those thick, luscious lips. This intriguing creature is called the triggerfish. Triggerfish are known for their vibrant colors and unique physical features, but their prominent lips are what really catch the eye. These lips are not just for show, they're adapted for their diet, helping them to crush and eat hard-shelled prey like sea urchins and crustaceans. Despite their alluring appearance, triggerfish can be quite territorial and aggressive, especially during breeding season. So while they might look appealing, it's best to admire these juicy lips from a safe distance. Believe me when I say you won't enjoy a kiss from them. That all sounded a bit creepy. This mysterious photograph has recently surfaced from an anonymous man in Pagosa Springs, Colorado. The image, taken 13 years ago during a camping trip near Square Top Mountain, depicts a figure that has ignited a wave of speculation among Bigfoot enthusiasts. Captured in the Arapaho and Roosevelt National Forests just west of Denver, the photograph shows a distinct figure amidst the dense wilderness. Shrouded in foliage, the figure's shape and size have led some to believe it could be the elusive Bigfoot, a creature long rumored to inhabit such remote areas. For experts in cryptozoology, the excitement around such sighting hinges on the clarity of the photograph and the details surrounding its capture. The rugged terrain and isolation of Square Top Mountain provide a plausible backdrop for encountering such a legendary creature. The dense forests and expansive wilderness of this region make it an ideal setting for a creature like Bigfoot to remain hidden from human eyes. A resident in a neighborhood was out one night when he noticed something unusual. Above one of the buildings, there was a green light, and from this green light were green lasers moving back and forth across the sky. The first thing that came to the minds of many was that this was some sort of UFO activity. The way the lasers move, the intensity of the green light, and the sheer strangeness of the scene make this theory probable. Some members of the paranormal platform, however, believe that this is nothing more than a drone equipped with lasers. Perhaps someone was using it for a light show or some sort of event. Drones can perform incredible light displays, and with the increasing accessibility of a high-tech drone, it's plausible that this could be an elaborate setup by a tech enthusiast or an artist. What do you make of this? Is it just a drone with lasers, or could it be something more otherworldly? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. In America, carp isn't exactly a delicacy, it's more of a problem. These fish have become an ecological headache, wreaking havoc on waterways and ecosystems. Here's how it started. Carp were initially introduced to water bodies to control algae and other aquatic nuisances. It sounded like a good idea at the time, but the situation spiraled out of control. Over the years, these fish have bred like crazy, spreading far and wide and taking over rivers and lakes. So, what's being done about this carp invasion? One common method is harvesting them in massive numbers, but instead of being served on dinner plates, these fish are often buried on land to decompose in a fertilizer. It's practical use, but, well, let's be honest, it's a drastic measure. What's more shocking is the cost. Millions of dollars are spent every year trying to control the carp population, but they just keep on spreading. The big question is, will we ever get this under control? I don't mean to carp on about it. That was a terrible joke. As the world continues to evolve, there's no denying that many people still struggle to afford basic needs, let alone a place to call home. However, an innovative concept could offer a solution: the world's smallest micro-apartment. Measuring just 1 meter square, this tiny living space is designed to maximize functionality within the smaller footprint imaginable. It's equipped with essentials like a toilet, a shower head, a microwave, and even a bed. However, there is a catch. The bed stands upright and a belt secures you in, meaning you sleep vertically. This micro-apartment is being touted as a potential solution for future housing challenges, particularly in scenarios of overpopulation and urban congestion. But it raises an intriguing question. Could you adapt to living in such a confined space? While the idea is innovative, the practicality of sleeping upright and living in such minimal quarters might not be for everyone. It forces us to rethink our relationship with space and comfort, especially in a world where space is becoming increasingly scarce. So what do you think? Something you would be open to, or is the idea just a tad on the crazy side for you? If you have ophidiophobia or the fear of snakes, consider this your cue to move to the next clip. If you don't and want to watch anyway, then be my guest. Here's a stunning close-up of a reticulated python, one of nature's most awe-inspiring creatures. Fascinating, yet scary. Julius confirmed that this was not CGI, which makes me a tad uncomfortable. Like, why would you be moving near a snake that big? Julius thinks it might be a pet, but I don't know about that. For those seeing this for the first time, the reticulated python, known for its intricate and mesmerizing scale pattern, is the longest snake in the world, capable of reaching lengths of 20 feet. In this close-up, you can see the intricate details of its scales, each one reflecting light in a way that highlights the beautiful reticulated pattern from which it gets its name. The scales shimmer with hues of gold, brown, and black, creating a camouflage that blends seamlessly with the forest floor. These pythons are native to the rainforests, woodlands, and grasslands of southeastern Asia. Their striking appearance is not just for show, it's an adaptation that allows them to blend into their surroundings, making them formidable ambush predators. They rely on their powerful constricting abilities to subdue prey, which can range from small animals to birds. This is why the thought of it being a pet worries me. This looks like a neighborhood that might have kids. What happens when the snake decides to want something a bit more, a human? Next up is our bonus segment. Your answers in our previous segments have just been on point, and we're still compiling. But I just couldn't pass up the opportunity to have you guys guessing what this thing is. I have a lot to say, but I won't. Take a look at this for a few seconds and let me know what you think. I can't wait to read your responses. Pareidolia has often been the go-go explanation when people see shapes or structures in clouds, such as the large city-like figure captured in this footage. In this case, the clouds form an illusion that resembles a shadowy cityscape with towering structures appearing to loom in the sky. Pareidolia refers to the tendency of our brain to see familiar shapes like faces or buildings in random patterns. However, many viewers of this footage believe that there is something more to it than just a simple visual trick. Some speculate that this could be evidence of another civilization, one that exists in the sky, potentially hidden or cloaked from human view. The idea of sky cities or advanced civilizations being concealed from us by some form of technology or natural phenomenon isn't new. It's a theory often linked to concepts like holographic projections, alternate dimensions, or even glitches in reality that momentarily expose these hidden worlds. What do you think? Could this be a hidden city accidentally exposed by a glitch, or is it just another case of pareidolia?
I just got home and I see this like hole in my wall, and like next door I have a really creepy neighbor. Let's take a look. What the? Oh my god! Oh my!
In this video, a girl was doing something routine, cleaning, when she stumbled upon something deeply unsettling: a hole in the wall that led directly into her neighbor's house. The discovery sent chills down her spine, and it's easy to understand why. The idea of having someone having a direct view into your private space without your knowledge is the stuff of nightmares. The hole itself was perfectly round, almost too precise to be accidental, which only added to the creepy factor. It looked deliberately made, raising the unnerving question: who could have created this? Was it done by a nosy or possibly creepy neighbor trying to spy on her? Or could it be something more innocent, like a part of the original structure or a forgotten utility passage? Either way, the thought of someone peeking in on you while you think you're safe in the comfort of your own home is terrifying. This kind of discovery makes you rethink your sense of security, especially when it's as invasive as a hole connecting to another home. What would you do in such a situation?
I just got home and I see this like hole in my wall, and like next door I have a really creepy neighbor. Let's take a look. What the? Oh my god! Oh my!
A passenger flying over the enigmatic Area 51 captured this fascinating sight below. Amidst the barren desert landscape, they spotted a mountain-like structure that stood out against the rugged terrain. As much as I would want to confirm their thoughts of it being alien, what they witnessed was none other than the Mud Springs volcano. Yeah, at least that's what the government and its scientists want us to believe. The Mud Springs volcano, a dormant volcanic formation, rises prominently in the area. Its rugged slopes and unique geological features make it a striking landmark in this mysterious region. Despite its dormancy, the volcano's presence adds to the intrigue of the already secretive and heavily guarded Area 51. Area 51 is a place shrouded in secrecy and the subject of numerous conspiracy theories. It's known for its association with UFO sightings and classified military projects. So could there be more to this volcano, or is this all there is to it? Meet the galaxy frog, and no, it's not from outer space, although it's a black frog adorned with stunning white spots. This remarkable amphibian is called the galaxy frog. Its unique patterns of white spots scattered across its dark skin make it look like a piece of the night sky brought to life. It's no wonder it's called the galaxy frog. It really does resemble a miniature galaxy, with stars dotting the dark expanse of its body. These frogs are not just a visual marvel, they're also an important part of the ecosystem. Frogs like the galaxy frog play crucial roles in maintaining the health of their habitats by controlling insect populations and serving as indicators of environmental health. Their presence often signals a well-balanced ecosystem. Aaron showed me this footage a while ago and said it's a man-made rock. Honestly, I didn't know what to make of it, so take a look and tell me what you think. In the video, you can see a dusty human-like head pushing its way through a rectangular hole. The texture looks whitish, almost like stone. It struggles to squeeze through, then retreats back in almost as if it's alive. Is this some kind of cryptid, or is it really a man made of rock like people say? Could this be some strange creature, or are we just looking at an incredibly well-done special effect? This next clip comes all the way from Yellowstone Park. Enjoy. I know we've spoken about the big guy multiple times, and some of you have been skeptical about his existence, but does this clear it up? You see the large humanoid creatures walking through the park, right? Do you know any animal species that fits the bill? No? Well, what do you think we're dealing with then? Gorilla? Chimp? They don't fit the bill now, do they? That leaves one obvious answer: Bigfoot. Yellowstone Park has been described by many to be a Bigfoot hotspot, and if this clip is to be believed, then it's safe to say that might be true. There are some who make an interesting argument, though. They think it might be a doctored footage and one created by AI. When you watch the clip multiple times, you start to see what they mean. But then again, when you go fault-finding, you're sure to find something. Is that the case here, or is there something really wrong with this? Moving on to something more realistic, we've got tracks that were discovered near the Meek Cabin Mountains. You see these footprints, don't you? Just at first glance, you can tell that although those prints look human, they are in no way human dimensions. The individual who discovered these prints stated that this wasn't the first time his family had come into contact with such prints near the Meek Cabin Mountains. The area has long been described as a Bigfoot hotspot, and although he himself hadn't seen a Bigfoot in the area, his sister had. The experience was allegedly so serious and so traumatizing for the lady that she's refused to talk about it. For a Bigfoot enthusiast, seeing the big guy will be nothing more than a dream come true. Any silence would be in awe and not in fear. For the ordinary person, however, the response would be one of shock and fear. This is probably what's happened to his sister. How can we be sure she really saw a Bigfoot? Well, most individuals who've been to the area described seeing such a being there. And it was not just a hearsay kind of thing. There were always footprints belonging to a huge being or creature there, just like seen in the capture. What do you guys think, though? Real or not? Let me know in the comment section. Here we have yet another strange and mesmerizing creature discovered in the depths of the ocean. This time, we have some information on it. Meet the Alidawilami, a marine worm that looks like something straight out of a science fiction movie. The Alidawilami is a species of polycut worm, known for its striking appearance and unusual characteristics. Its body is segmented, and it possesses numerous bristles along its sides, which it uses for movements. But what truly sets this creature apart is its otherworldly appearance. With its vibrant colors and almost alien-like structure, it looks like it belongs on a distant planet rather than in our oceans. Polychaete worms like the Alidawilami play crucial roles in their ecosystems. They burrow into the seabed, helping to aerate the sediment and recycle nutrients. Despite their importance, many of these creatures remain relatively unknown, hidden away in the vast and unexplored depths of the ocean.
A man stumbled upon something unsettling in a fish tank. This massive, creepy insect-like creature seemed perfectly at home underwater. This strange being isn't your average bug. It's known as a Bathynomus giganteus, commonly referred to as a giant isopod. These creatures are deep-sea scavengers closely related to pillbugs, but on a much larger and creepier scale. They can grow up to 20 inches long and thrive in the ocean's dark depths, feeding on dead marine animals. While they might look like something out of a sci-fi movie, they're a fascinating part of Earth's marine ecosystem. It's rare to see one in a tank like this. Usually they're found miles beneath the surface. What would you do if you came across something this bizarre? That's supposed to be a cloud. You might be wondering, well, why am I showing you a cloud? The answer is simple. Perhaps it only looks like a cloud, but isn't exactly a cloud. How do we know this? Well, the individual filming thought it was an interesting-looking cloud until it started to move in an unusual way. He had asked his wife to come see it too at this point, and she agreed that the cloud was not moving normally. They were not believers in all this alien stuff, but they started to consider it. I mean, it was either that or the government was being sneaky. They assumed aliens seemed a bit more logical and shared the clip, hoping to get other views. Aaron, our resident conspiracy theorist, is all for it, but a chunk of the paranormal community just isn't buying this one. But what say you?
I'll tell you what that is, Michael. That's Dementors.
During a live TV broadcast, an unusual event captured viewers' attention. The camera was showing the atmosphere over a scenic stretch of land with clouds rolling in on one side. As the camera panned toward the area, something strange happened. A shadowy, swiftly moving figure glided through the scene, almost too quick to catch at first glance. Its shape was ominous, and its movement sent chills down the spine of those watching. Observers have since referred to it as a dementor, likening it to the eerie creatures from folklore and fiction. What could this have been? A trick of the light, an optical illusion, or something more mysterious?
Dementor! Do you see him? I'll tell you what that is, Michael. That's Dementors.
Would you visit a cemetery at night? That's a straight no or a yes.
I could have sworn I saw the arm go up. Whoa, wait, no way.
Well, these guys thought it would be a fun idea to take a little trip, an excursion to the cemetery one evening, and were shocked by this. I don't know what they were expecting, but pay attention to the clip. The object in view was supposed to be a statue or something along those lines at the cemetery. If you look clearly, however, you'll notice that it's moving. Do you see it? The last time we checked, statues aren't supposed to move, yet we see one right now moving in ways you wouldn't expect it to. This freaked them out, and they got out of the place as soon as they could. I get the thrill that comes with seeking out these things, but it's one thing to accidentally encounter them and escape, and another to go searching for them hoping to escape. Now, the latter is unwise if you ask me, but, well, hey, each to his own, I guess. Perhaps I'm just cowardly. Okay, on to the next.
Okay, are my eyes playing tricks on me? I could have sworn I saw the arm go up. Whoa, wait, no way.
Have you ever heard of the moon-eyed people? They're a mysterious group often mentioned in Appalachian folklore, said to have pale skin and large, wide eyes, sensitive to light, which is why they could only see well at night. Legends claim these beings once lived in the Appalachian Mountains before being driven away by the Cherokee tribe. Now take a look at this image. It shows the heads of two beings eerily matching the descriptions of the moon-eyed people. Their large, round eyes are unmistakable, almost otherworldly, and their pale, ghostly features give off a haunting vibe. Some say they might have been an ancient lost civilization, while others believe they were otherworldly visitors. This image captures that eerie essence, leaving us wondering if there's truth to the legends of it, or if it's all just a strange coincidence. Here we have another unsettling piece of footage about questionable food quality at the supermarket. A woman, clearly suspicious, brought a magnet with her and decided to test the chicken she bought. Shockingly, when she pressed the magnet to the chicken, it stuck. This raises all kinds of disturbing questions. How could a magnet stick to a piece of meat? It's deeply concerning to think about. Chickens is such a staple food for so many people around the world, and the idea that there could be some kind of metallic substance in it is terrifying. Are we really eating meat in our chicken, or is it just some strange anomaly? What could be going on here? Mislabeling, contamination, or something else entirely? It makes you wonder about the quality control of the food we're putting on our plates these days.
Look at that. Call my mom. Where's your phone? Where's your phone? Hurry up. Oh my god. Look at it. Here, take a video of it.
On November the 18th, 2023, residents of New Jersey reported an astonishing sight. 5 unidentified crafts hovering in the sky. What made the situation even more peculiar was the fact that these objects were being followed closely by military aircraft. When the matter was brought to the attention of the authorities, they were quick to dismiss the incident as merely a collection of drones. However, on the very same night, at nearly the same time, an eerily similar event unfolded across the country in Tucson, Arizona. A woman spotted an unusual flat object in the sky, glowing with lights arranged horizontally around its perimeter. Now, this raises a compelling question. Are both events connected? Were these truly drones, as officials claim, or is there something more mysterious at play here? The idea that military jets would scramble for mere drones feels unusual, especially when sightings like these are cropping up across the globe. Could these incidents be further evidence of something extraterrestrial, or are they part of a secret military operation cloaked in plausible deniability? It seems there is more to these sightings than meets the eye.
Look at that. Call my mom. Where's your phone? Where's your phone? Hurry up. Oh my god. Look at it. Here, take a video of it.
A homeowner by the name of Mike was home alone when something truly unnerving happened. According to him, he started feeling uneasy for no apparent reason. Thankfully, there was a security camera in the room overlooking the staircase area, capturing everything that unfolded. Mike was tidying up, clearing away his toys scattered around the room when suddenly a chilling event occurred. A soft, eerie whisper called his name, Mike. The voice was faint, yet unmistakable. The moment he heard it, sheer panic set in. Without a second thought, Mike bolted upstairs, leaving everything behind. Who or what could have called his name? Was it a ghost, a residual spirit, or something even more sinister? This video, taken back in 2019, shows a figure walking from a far right in front of the Woodland area. The figure appears to be ghostly, moving in an eerie, almost transparent way. Could this be a ghost or some form of cryptid? Some viewers have suggested it could be a spirit, given the translucent and ethereal appearance of the figure. Others have speculated it might be a cryptid, an undiscovered or mythical creature that hides in the depths of nature. Then again, it could just be a trick of the light or maybe even an elaborate hoax. What's your take? Is this a paranormal sighting or something more grounded in reality? This video was shared online by a family who had been living in a house for many years. There was one room that had always remained locked, but after years of curiosity, they finally decided to open it. And what happened next is chilling. As they open the door, one boy steps into the room and immediately complains that he doesn't feel well. The room itself is just cluttered with old papers and belongings, but one thing stood out. A strange Santa doll encased in a wooden box with a glass door. The boy felt unwell, then decided to light sage in the room, speaking out to whatever presence might be there, telling it that it wasn't welcome. Not long after, he suddenly exclaimed that his back was burning. When they checked, they found scratch marks on his lower back. It seems whatever entity was in the room wasn't too happy about being disturbed. What do you make of this footage? Could this be real or just another internet mystery?
No. ¿Sí vieron lo que era? Hace muchos años Pero resulta que... Hijo de su puta madre, ¿qué es esa?
You must be wondering who this woman is. Well, let's just say the first time I watched the clip, I wondered too. A few seconds into the clip, I got my answer. She's one of those individuals who like to dare spirits to show themselves if they are real. Why do I say that? Well, she visited an area that's known to be haunted by a little girl. Nobody knows the story behind the girl haunting the place, but she wanted to see it for herself. So, she walked around the area, filming herself talking, hoping this little girl would show up. Surely enough, she noticed that there was a girl, or at least the spirit of a girl, following her. She eventually left the place to attend a party with her brother. The party was going great till she noticed the spirit had followed her there. She panicked, but didn't want to ruin the party for everyone. She didn't tell anyone till it was over. Funny enough, this spirit did nothing other than let the lady know she had followed her. Do you think she's forgiven her, or was that just a warning to let the lady know she knows where she lives? Please share your thoughts.
No. ¿Sí vieron lo que era? Hace muchos años. Pero resulta que... Hijo de su puta madre, ¿qué es esa?
Rafa, não é busca meu. Ficha aí, cara, eu falei, mano. Pega o bagulho, pega, Rafa. Ai. Na facada, Rafa. Caralho, mano.
This footage is definitely something out of a horror film. 3 men running frantically in the woods, one being overtaken by a bizarre creature. It's the kind of thing that keeps you on edge. According to the description, the creature is bipedal with a dog-like snout, attacking one of the men while his friend grabs a knife to defend him. However, as dramatic as it sounds, the setup raises a few red flags. The shaky camera work, the convenient timing of the attack, and the unclear visuals often point to something staged. It's not uncommon for people to create such footage for viral content or entertainment purposes. While it's certainly chilling and imaginative, the lack of clarity and over-the-top details make it feel less like a genuine encounter and more like a scripted event. What do you think? A real encounter or an attempt to create the next urban legend?
Vem, tá mordendo, vem. Desgraça, que isso? Você deu facada, Rafa, você deu facada. Eu dou uma facada nele, mano, ele morreu. Vem, Vinícius, tá saindo bem. Roubaram meu carro. Vamos, Vinícius, vamos, você tá bem.
When we started working on this episode, I knew I was going to come across strange and bizarre clips, but nothing could have prepared me for this. Tell me you see that water is red. The one who uploaded this refused to add the location, but that doesn't change what we are seeing. We see a body of water that's all red. Now, I know of the Red Sea, but it's not called the Red Sea because it's actually red. So this had me thinking, and naturally I had to do the research. It turns out, yes, that there are several water bodies around the world that appear red due to unique natural phenomena. One common cause is red algae blooms, often referred to as red tides. These occur when certain algae, like Carina brevis, reproduce rapidly, turning the water a reddish-brown hue. While visually striking, these blooms can be harmful as they sometimes release toxins that affect marine life and extreme cases human health. Another example is Lake Natron in Tanzania, a highly saline lake known for its brilliant red coloration. This unusual color comes from microorganisms such as Halarochia, which thrive in the lake's extremely alkaline environment. These organisms produce red pigments that give the water its striking color. Lake Natron's vivid hue makes it look almost otherworldly, and it's a fascinating example of life adapting to harsh conditions. In Bolivia, Laguna Colorada offers another stunning redwater body. This shallow saltwater lake is famous for its reddish appearance caused by red algae and plankton that thrive in the mineral-rich waters. The lake is a stunning contrast to its surrounding white salt flats, creating a picturesque natural wonder that attracts visitors from all over the world.
So yeah, there are actual red seas out there, only some of them aren't seas at all, they're lakes. Am I the only one who didn't know this? Also, please don't mention this to Julius, okay? Take a look at this incredible discovery from the deep sea. The footage shows a diver next to a strange-looking creature which turns out to be a big fin squid, also known as Magnipina. What's amazing is that the squid in the video is not even an adult, just a juvenile. The real shock comes when you zoom out and notice an even larger big fin squid in the background. This highlights just how enormous these creatures can get. Adult bigfin squids are known to grow up to 15 feet in length or more, making them one of the most impressive and enigmatic animals of the deep sea. The size and scale of these giants are truly mind-blowing. Hopefully my calculation isn't off. If it is, forgive me. I'm beefing with Julius currently and I can't ask him for help.
Am I glitching? Or what's going on? What? Who copied and pasted what?
I'm not exactly sure what to say about this. The individual who sent it in insists it's a glitch and that their traffic lights aren't set up like this. Personally, I think that's a lot of traffic lights for such a simple road, but hey, it's an interesting world out there. Perhaps there's somewhere on this planet where this traffic setup is normal. Can the experts here chip in? If there's not a place like this, can we all agree this is one of the weirdest glitches that we've ever seen on this channel?
Am I glitching? Or what's going on? What? Who copied and pasted what?
Speaking of two-faced individuals, have you seen trees with faces? No? Take a look.
There's the moon. But look at the trees. Don't they seem like they have faces?
Tell me I'm not the only one seeing things. You see these faces on the trees too, right? Now that's not normal now, well, is it? According to the individual who uploaded the clip, he had noticed the phenomenon for a while now and thought he was just seeing things. He then decided to record instances when he would see trees with faces and share them online. Surely enough, once he began sharing, others did too, which led to a long thread of trees with faces. What do you guys think about this? Do these trees have some sort of special abilities? Are they sentient? Are they spying on us? Or are we just seeing things due to pareidolia? Feel free to share your thoughts on this one.
There's the moon. But look at the trees. Don't they seem like they have faces?
Got a clip that's been described as one to die for. No, seriously. The one who filmed this died shortly after. The clip was recorded by a couple of friends before one was mysteriously killed. They went exploring on a river with cameras strapped to their boat, hoping they would capture something interesting. They even had a spotlight attached to the boat. We're not sure if they'd been told the river had a monster, but that wouldn't matter because a few seconds into the trip, they noticed an unusual shape moving along the banks. Without wasting time, they turned on and pointed their spotlight in the direction of the disturbance, which exposed the creature responsible. It didn't look like anything they had ever seen. It was a large humanoid creature with fur and a head that resembled that of a canine. For a moment, they believed they were hallucinating, but it was not just one person seeing it. No, the whole group could see the creature, which ruled out the possibility of a hallucination. They kept their distance, recorded as much footage as possible, and then went back to show people. They even uploaded it online hoping to find answers and share the discovery. Many who saw the clip believe it was a dogman. Some thought the whole thing was too convenient to be true and had to be a hoax. That was at least the case until one was brutally murdered. Once the murder occurred, people started to whisper. Though it was never confirmed, the rumor was that the young man who died was attacked and killed by a large and strong beast. This made others believe that Dogman was real and had executed the young man as judgment for disturbing his home and exposing him. While this sounds like a bit of a stretch, it's a narrative many have accepted as truth. What do you think? Take a look at this video. It's of a very old-looking man lying on a bed, seemingly frail and pale, with an almost skeletal appearance. He's stiffly clapping his hands in time with the people around him, who are clapping and singing to celebrate his supposed 117th birthday. His children and loved ones surround him, but there's something unsettling about the scene. As you watch closely, the man's face seems unnaturally rigid. There's no blinking, no facial movement beyond the stiff clapping. Some people believe this man isn't a person at all, but some sort of lifelike robot or animatronic. His skin looks almost waxy, and the lack of any natural human expression has raised suspicions. Could this be some advanced AI creation made to look like an elderly person, or is it just a rare glimpse into the frailty of extreme old age?
Dude, I'm telling you guys, it's not a person, bro. Look.
What the fuck is that? That's a hiker.
No, it's not, bro. That's not a person.
That's way bigger than a hiker, bro.
Bro, that's not.
What are you talking about?
Oh, fuck, it just disappeared. What the Nope.
A family on vacation in a mountainous region captured something truly eerie. While enjoying the scenic view, they noticed a figure standing among the trees on the mountainside. At first, they thought it was just a person, but then things took a bizarre turn. The figure began a glitch, flickering in and out of sight before finally vanishing altogether. This unsettling sight left the family stunned. It clearly wasn't human, so what could it have been? A supernatural entity? A ghost? Or perhaps something even more otherworldly? I guess we'll never really know unless we visit the place, which neither Aaron nor Julius is willing to do. Oh well.
Hiker.
No, it's not, bro. That's not a person.
That's way bigger than a hiker, bro.
Bro, that's not.
What are you talking about?
Oh, fuck, it just disappeared. What the Nope.
A woman was enjoying a peaceful day at the park when she stumbled upon something truly strange.
This lady's been standing in the same spot looking just like that. Oh my gosh, what the hell is happening right now? She's been stuck like that for 5 minutes.
She spotted another woman standing a short distance away, completely motionless. At first, it seemed unremarkable. Maybe she was lost in thought. But as the seconds turned into minutes, it became eerie. This woman had moved a muscle for over 5 minutes. It wasn't just a casual stillness either. Her posture, expression, everything about her looked frozen in time like a living statue. Interestingly, this isn't the first time such bizarre incidents have been reported. Stories of people stuck in time, seemingly frozen in place, are often labeled as matrix glitches. But what's behind these mysterious moments? Could it be a neurological condition, a strange optical illusion, or something even more baffling? Maybe it's a crack in reality itself, a brief peek behind the curtain of existence as we know it. What do you think? A simple coincidence, or proof that our world might not be as solid as it seems? Let's hear your thoughts.
This lady's been standing in the same spot looking just like that. Oh my gosh, what the hell is happening right now? She's been stuck like that for 5 minutes.
The internet is filled with bizarre and unsettling content, much of which remains unexplained. Take this video, for example. It's downright creepy. In the footage, you see a man sitting in a dimly lit room, eating hastily from a bowl with a large cooking ladle. As you focus on him, someone dressed in a dark robe with a cotton mask over their head appears from behind. This person stands next to the man, gently patting him on the back as he continues to eat. What's even more disturbing is the man seems to be crying while eating. On the table in front of him, the contents of the bowl have spilled, giving the whole scene an eerie, chaotic vibe. As the video continues, another figure dressed identically to the first joins in, also patting the man's back in an almost ritualistic manner. Rumors circulating online suggest that this man might be forced into cannibalism. Some even speculate that he could be eating members of his own family. However, there's no confirmation of this, as the whole video remains a mystery. The whole scene is unsettling, from the cryptic behavior of the rogue figures to the man's distressed demeanor. What do you think is happening here? Could this be some dark ritual, or is it all just a staged, eerie performance?
And with that, we end today's episode. Thanks for staying with us. Before you go, are there clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't? Well, the good news is you can share them with us and we will post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have. Share this with someone you love, and I will see you in the next one.